I hope everyone's well out there on Friday. Wishing our best to TSoA and everybody else in this fight, and all you guys who support it, man. This is a response video, and in support of some of the stuff Hector Bravo was saying this morning on his new video about the ISU officers in Corcoran. So here you got these ISU guys in Corcoran issuing search warrants on that man's email, right? They're abusing or having the cops on the streets do it. So if that's not an abuse of power, I don't know what is. Mm-hmm. You know, think of that, folks. Here you got this guy who was an officer in CDCR for 16 years, and he just got out of it. He was done with it, the whole 9 yards, for his own reasons, and he's fighting against the corrupt battle, just like we are. Me and my baby girl, and there's a few others fighting this, so he ain't alone. And but ISU in Corcoran and in other prisons, not just Corcoran, are dirty as fuck, folks. And they work hand in hand with the administration on their cover-ups, their corruption, and it's time that this is illuminated to the fullest. Mm-hmm. My battle against these dirty fucks has been for the past 20 years of my life, since they validated me way back when. Like I said, they falsified documents on us, and if I remember right, Hector's got a video on how they falsify memos, or they write memos on each other, and what the hell do you think they're going to do it to a prisoner, right? We don't have that action. We're kind of like, we can't fight against that, you know, if we don't know it exists, or if we do, they just cover it up. And so today I just heard Hector's video about the cops filing a search warrant on his email account or something like that over Corcoran ISU or whatever ISU was doing it. I don't know, man. But here you have another example of abuse of power, because they don't like what the man is saying. They don't like the man exposing their inner corruption, their inner criminality. They don't like it. They don't like what I'm doing. They don't like what my wife's doing. They don't like what Ronnie's doing. They don't like what the other people are doing. Turtle and them for speaking out against, speaking up for us and speaking out on what we're doing as far as trying to change the system. Yeah, there's bumps in the road. Yeah, there's hiccups here and there. But that's prison life, man. That's prison life. And, you know, it's not every day that, you know, crazy shit goes on, but it is at most prisons. You know, it's not every day like staff are getting assaulted every day. You know, I mean, like, other than a stomping on a boot or a shoulder bump, to me, that's not a staff assault, right? It's not. It's a cheesy-ass way to falsify a document on someone they don't like. But that's how ISUs get down. That's how they get down. And, you know, it's ongoing. It's not going to stop. And we're trying to illuminate this. We're trying to bring this to the masses. And the only reason it seems all big to you guys is because now, every time something happens in prison, it's being reported immediately. Whereas before, it was never reported. It was being buried. Only time it got reported was a staff got hit or somebody died. Not attempted murders, not assault with, you know, a fist or something. So, but anyways, I don't want to get off topic here. I was listening to Hector's shit, man. If they're going to put search warrants on that guy for just illuminating their truth, and just because they don't like it, that's an abuse of power like a motherfucker, man. You know? In public requesting documents, you know, to request certain documents, that's your guys' right. That's what you pay your tax dollars for. That's your right to request documents. And like I said in my video this morning that got dropped, if my attorneys can't put in to get certain documents, then, and these guys are attorneys of a federal court, man, you guys aren't going to get shit because they're going to cover it up. They're going to deny it. They're going to do all that. So, Hector, man, just so you hear, man, you ain't alone in this fight, bud. We fighting too. Just from a different angle. Right, baby girl?
That's right. We got a similar enemy, and I want to acknowledge the fact that I'm very much spiritually led to do this. We're on a mission. We are on a mission. We don't need
Right,
to do this. We have to.
right,
We have to.
right.
And I had an experience when COVID set in, because that was a
Right.
real scary time. Like, oh, they're locking us all down now. You think it's bad in prison when they start doing it on the streets. You need to think about what's really going on. And we all found out what really
Yep.
was going on. Um, but I was led to seek answers, and I was shown some things, and at that time was when I did that drawing of that prison yard, and it's on some of our videos. And I was
Right.
I like, fuck it, let's go to church. I'm not a religious person at all, but let's go see. This is what God was telling me. You need to go into this church, and I went into that church, and I heard the story of Paul in Acts 16. Um, and the pastor had no knowledge of who I was, or crashing in there, and I'm hearing about how Paul in his faith destroyed the prison and convinced the guard to believe in a higher purpose. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed
That's
to
right.
hear. And I was actually let out
That's
of
right.
that church immediately, and I set out to work, and we started doing our videos.
Right.
I started doing those drawings,
That's right.
and here we are today. And
And we're still fighting.
we're still fighting the good fight, and we're not gonna quit. We're not gonna quit
Nope.
until
We're not.
the uh, the tides change for the better. And even then, we know better than to
Right.
take our foot off the gas. You don't stop
No, you can't.
until that thing's completely wrecked.
Yep. We can't take the foot off the gas. Thank you for sharing that, baby girl.
Yep.
And she's right, man. We didn't have.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You know, a lot of people have this thing about speaking out, right? And we didn't have to do this. Just like Ronnie didn't have to educate you guys, or Charles didn't have to educate you guys, or whoever else, right? And or Hector, he don't have to do that, right? And the real shit, he's doing it too now, man. But we all have our different different ends, and we're all coming at it from a different angle. But we have the same objective, which is to illuminate the corruption from the administration and Sacramento headquarters of CDCR. Now, everybody has their own selfish reasons, or whatever's going on. But I'm fighting for myself and other similar situated prisoners. People who can't speak for themselves, people who don't have this avenue. Thank God for my baby girl, right?
Mm.
She helps me get on here and keep in contact with you guys, and she supports that. So we choose to do this to help expose and illuminate the real deal bullshit that goes on behind these walls, and it's left unsaid. It's left without being reported. Homeboy, folks, I'm gonna keep fighting. My baby girl's gonna keep fighting, and we just feel like this is what we got to do. I don't cross no lines about my politics and my policies in prison, and ain't a man alive gonna tell me who to fucking talk to and who not to talk to. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been tying my own shoes for 50 goddamn years. Ain't nobody else tying my shoes. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
I do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it, and that's a wrap. That's that. As far as these dirty ass ISUs, they're not all dirty. Don't get it twisted. But if they're gonna go after Hector using a cop or the law for a search warrant on his emails, because he's speaking out. What are they so scared of? Right?
Yep.
Why? And he's ex-military, he's ex-officer, he knows their games, and they know he does. What do you think they would do to a citizen like my wife or like you guys who don't really know how dirty they can be, right? Because you call up here for your son, trying to advocate for his health or trying to expose something going on amongst the administration, or you're trying to do your part for prisoner reform, right? Prisoner reform, and illuminate the truth, you know, and it's like now you got a search warrant on your fucking emails. Like that shows you that they will go to no end to silence a man or silence a woman or an advocate, whoever.
Well, and
right?
the fact that it's coming from Corcoran, you know, like
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've been there, and that's why I say I know how bad that is down there. I know how bad that is down there. That is a miserable fucking flea armpit. That's a flea. That's like being on an armpit of a fucking elephant with a bunch of fleas in it. That's how bad it is in that place. And, you know, it's all over. But right there, man, them people used to give my wife's address out to the S&Ys debriefing in the debrief building so they can write it on the fucking walls in medical down there in Corcoran.
And that was
in
the
Corcoran
medical that tried to off you with their neglect.
Right. That's right. And get this, folks. That's where that place is infested with snitches, man. That place is fucking disgusting with rats all over. All the main lines down there are all fucking chigrujos and chomos and rapos and rats because they don't have no more GPR. So that entire prison, but like maybe 100 people are you know, maybe less than 100 people are solid there, right? So, you know, you gotta think of it. You gotta think of it like that, man, because I'm telling you, ISU down there is dirty as fuck.
And
that's all there's to it. And they'll use medical to fuck you over. They'll use whatever. And me and my baby girl fight for the rights of the next prisoner as well as myself, man. And we're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting and keep fighting straight up. And you know, I know I said something a while back, you know, on Hector and his videos, but you know, sometimes I give it to him for fighting for his right, fighting his battle, and illuminating what he thinks is right, and right on for that, you know. But you know, I think sometimes people gotta measure their words a little bit, like myself and other people too, right? And make sure the message is being heard and not being watered down with threats, you know. That's all I say, man. That's all I say. But anyways, I hope you guys stay tuned. We got more videos coming out. I heard a video by this guy, Paradigm Media, about the shoes reopening.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I'm gonna do a response video to that in a minute. And I send mine to...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
We send ours to the worthy out there and hope everybody's well. Stay solid, folks, and see you soon, man. Hit the like button, share our shit. And just remember, it's a long-term commitment to battle these motherfuckers because it never ends. And until it ends, I'm going to keep fighting. See ya. Stay solid.